We're going to look at solving quadratic equations by formula. The clue to when to use the formula is when you're asked to give your answers to 2 decimal places, 3 decimal places, etc. You know then you're not going to be able to factorize it. Now the general quadratic equation consists of an x squared term, an x term, and c, which is a number. Now the number of x squareds, the number of x's, these are called the coefficients. And it's those coefficients, a, b and c, are the ones that appear in this formula. This formula is often given in exams these days as part of the formula sheet. So you really need to see these together to remember where a, b and c are coming from. So let's have a look at how to put this into practice. This is a typical question. Here we're going to, first of all, identify the values of a, b and c. So here I can see a is 3, b is -5, and c is -1. So when I put that into the formula, the first step is going to be putting it into the formula direct, without any calculation whatsoever. Try to resist the temptation to half do the question at this stage. Actually write it out strictly so that you've got the pure substitution in place before you start any calculation. Then if you go wrong with the calculation, at least you've shown that you can do it. So when I substitute in minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now pay particular attention to negatives. b is a -5, c is a -1. Putting them in brackets like this will ensure that you will be able to see the next step quite clearly. Now some people using their calculators will plug that in and get one answer using the plus and the other answer using the minus. Personally, I like to put an extra step in before I do that, and I clear these terms here. Now what I've got here is, I could use a calculator for this, but I'll do it without. -5 squared is +25, and minus 4 times 3 times -1, there's an extra 12 there to be added on. So I'm going to have +5 plus or minus root 37 all over 6. You don't have to do that, as I said, but I think this makes it easier to input to your calculator. So now I've got 2 answers. The first one is going to be 5 plus root 37 over 6, and the second one I'll call x2 is 5 minus root 37 over 6. Now when I tap that into the calculator, I can do it as a fraction where I'm just entering that as it seems, and then as a denominator of the fraction I'm just putting the number 6 and pressing equals. The answer I'm going to get is quite a long decimal, 1.84712, etc, etc. It goes on a bit, fills the calculator display. We're only looking for the first 2 decimal places to represent that answer, and 1.85 gives us the approximate root, and the second root is going to be calculated. It comes out as minus 0.18046. Again, a few more digits, and that rounds to minus 0.18. Watch you actually transfer the minuses, because it's an important part of this answer. So these are my 2 answers for this equation, 1.85 minus 0.18. You could substitute each of those back instead of x, but remember that because you rounded those, your answer is going to be small, but it's not going to be 0. But it's going to be so close, you'll realise whether you've got your right answers or not. Now this is quite an easy technique, but it's all about organisation. As long as you line up the A, B and the C and you substitute into the formula correctly, then these processes are straightforward. All of mathematics is like that. You get the organisation and the rest takes care of itself.